Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Racha Kodash. Yahweh is the true name of Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is the true name of the Heavenly Father's Son, the Son of Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from, and peace and blessings goes to the hopeful members of the elect, my brothers that are on the highways pushing his word and his truth and sincerity. In today's lesson, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim, Racha Kodash, which Racha Kodash is Hebrew for the Holy Spirit. In today's lesson, I thought that I'll, share this with you brothers. There's a lot, there's a lot going on. There's a lot to talk about. And I thought I would go into this and share with you brothers on how you have a lot of Trump's cabinet are moving into military bases. And I want to, puzzle it in or fit this in with prophecy. Okay? Because prophecy speaks of the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Prophecy speaks of sedition among men, where people are going to take matters into their own hands, not regarding kings or princes, not regarding these high government officials. All right? Because what you see going on right now, people are suffering. People are catching hell. It's very hard to pay their bills. It's very hard to even buy groceries. It's very hard to live. But it's going to get worse. It's going to get far, far, far worse. People are already angry and frustrated now, and they're going to become more and more angry to the point where they're going to take the frustrations out on these different officials. All right. Now, let's read a little bit on that. It says, this is from Yahoo News. Record number of Trump's cabinet members now living on military bases. A growing number of Trump administration officials are moving out of their homes and into military housing where they can be shielded from protests and political violence. Right, which you had nothing but protest and political violence. And when people protest, right, you have people that will actually protest out front of their houses. I believe when you had that 2021, 2020 happened, you had a lot of people that showed up to the California's governor's house, Governor Newsom, protesting. They had to bring the highway patrol and the cops and all that, And even during that time with the shutdowns, you had a foil plot with the governor of Michigan. You had a certain Edomite group trying to, plan to assassinate the governor of Michigan, which was all, foiled by the FBI. But the point is, when people have nothing to lose, they're gonna take it out on, they're gonna lose it, and they're gonna lose it on these officials. So I can see why these different, people of Trump cabinets are moving on to military bases. All right. But let's read a little bit more of this. It says, Stephen Miller, White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy, is the most recent addition to 7 high-ranking officials who have been encouraged to make the move. Miller joined Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, Army Secretary Dan Driscoll, another senior politic appointee to the Army, and one other senior White House official. Hey, and let's not forget, you had, Kirk, he got assassinated. That's political violence. You had Trump, all right, that was an assassination attempt on him. And there was even, foil plots of, Secret Service is foiling plans of another assassination. You had one that a hunter's tree. They had a hunter, like the hunter table that they put on the trees, the hunter chairs that they put on trees. That was right aimed at Trump's plane where they parked at the airport. You had different cases of men with guns and all that. There's a lot of some crazy times. All right, people are going through it, but it's just gonna get worse. Because right now you're still able to get by, but what's gonna happen when you're not able to get by, when you can't provide for your family, you can't live? People are gonna take their frustration out on the streets, and this protest ain't gonna be somewhat peaceful. This people are gonna take matters to their own hands, and the scripture speaks on this. So I see why, like I said, I see why these high government officials are moving into military bases. Which not to say that's gonna protect them, because the military can turn on them too. All right. The morning after conservative activist Charlie Kirk was assassinated, Miller's wife said she was threatened in front of her home. On Fox News, Katie Miller told Sean Hannity, the morning after our dear friend Charlie was assassinated, I take a step out on my porch and I had a lady saying, I'm watching you. After that incident, someone passed out flyers all over the neighborhood saying my husband Stephen is a Nazi, is a war criminal, and had our home address. Katie Miller said the Millers lived just south of Washington, D.C., in Arlington, Virginia. They spread it all over our neighborhood and have continued to do so, not only at my children's parks, but around town, she said in September. All right, so, hey, because when you're, governor, people, I believe you have to have your address on something so people know where you live. All right, so what do you think these people are going to do when all hell breaks loose? All right, when gas is $20 a gallon, when a loaf of bread is somewhat $50 or $100. All right, people are going to lose it. All right, and they're going to point the blame on these different mayors, these different governors, these high officials, man. Okay, let's bring out let's get this in 2nd Esdras chapter 15. And 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Right, destruction. Because there's going to be a lot of destruction that's going to come. There's going to be a lot of chaos, a lot of anarchy. All right, even things that you people can't even explain is going to start to happen. It says, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Right, man. You're going to see you're going to have these people get together, different militia groups, different classes of people. All right. And it comes to get together, and it says with swords in their hands. All right. I ain't talking about an actual sword. A sword represents a gun, killing instrument, which America's armed to the T. All right. America's about to be one big war zone, man. All right. You're going to have different people here in America fighting each other. Let's not forget, you're going to have a civil war. Okay? Or different states are going to secede from the United States, man. All right? And we're going to have to see how that plays out. But we can see it happening. America is divided. Okay? You have all these different beliefs, all these different people. America is not one. It's not united. It's divided. All right, and it's only a matter of time with whatever you believe in, you people's different beliefs, the leftists, the rightist. It's only a matter of time until war breaks out between them, until blood is shed between them. Okay, because it's gonna get there. Okay, but it says for the verse 16 says, for there shall be sedition among men. All right, didn't they charge Donald Trump with sedition? All right, with the insurrection, when all them red hat people went up to the Capitol building on January 6th that day, which is all staged anyway. Okay, they charged Trump with insurrection, with sedition. Okay, it's gonna happen again because it's gonna get so bad out here. The economy's gonna collapse. All the promises that that these different, starting from your president down to your governor to your mayor to all these different government officials that's supposed to protect and look after the people, but really it's for the New World Order, right? They give you all this. They speak all these false promises, all these lies, like making America great. That's one big fat lie, because America's not going to be great. America's going to be destroyed. You got a lot of these red hat Trump supporters that actually believe that Trump's going to make America great, which he's not. He's going to bring America down. All right, these people don't know that these different government officials, Democrat and Republican and all that, from your president, are all in cahoots with each other, man. All set up to push the agenda of the elites to bring in the New World Order. A lot of people like to blame Biden for destroying the country and doing that, but no, Biden did a fantastic job because he did what he was supposed to do. All right, what Trump is doing right now, the tariffs and all that, okay, with the government shutdown, the SNAP benefits being shut down, he's doing what he's supposed to do, man. But that's something you people are don't know of, man. Okay. But you got, different Edomites that see it. Our government sold out. They're going to take matters into their own hands. Okay? But it says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard the kings nor princes. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right? They shall not regard their kings. They're not going to regard these different government officials. They're not going to care what they got to say. They're not going to believe in their lies. They're going to take matters into their own hands. Because they have the power. They got the weapons to do so. All right? They're not going to want to take heed because they see that the government sold out. America's going to shit. All what they've been saying, what they're going to do is they're not doing it. All right? So people are going to get fed up, man. And people are already fed up. That's why they're protesting in front of these government officials' houses. Threatening them. Which a lot of these officials are moving into military bases. Real soon they're going to have to move into underground bases. Which is not going to probably shield them from the people, but won't shield them from the missiles. Okay? It's about to get bad out here. There's going to be another Civil War 2.0. Okay? America's on the brink where it's just going to fall, man. And people that at least have sense into them can see that. It says, real quick, Slocky, let me see what, never read this verse in the the GNTD. Let's read it. Let's see what it says in the GNTD version. Right, 2nd Ezra 15-14 in the GNTD version. It says, the world and the people in it are doomed. Doomed. People here are doomed. All right. The war that will bring their destruction is very near. Nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations. All right, because America is one big melting pot. All right. Not only are you going to have a civil war, different classes of war, you're going to have race wars, man. The tensions of that is already high as well. It says there will be great political turmoil. Right. Great political turmoil. Which we see that happening. Okay? We see different, Why these? Let's read that last part of this news. It says they can be shielded from protests and political violence. It's a great political turmoil. All right, with one group trying to overpower another and gain control. Right, you're gonna have these different, different classes of, militia groups, patriotic Edomites. All right, that's gonna try to take control and take matters to their own hands. You're gonna have people that are literally gonna try to take down the government. They think they got the power to, And there's a reason. Hey, there's a reason why there's certain bases. There's a lot of military equipment that's been missing and stolen, man. People from the inside getting ready for this political violence, this political turmoil, the civil war. You go down to Texas, you'll see trucks with mounted machine guns. So, hey, we're not too far from this happening. This can happen at any time. What we're seeing right now is heading into that. The future for America is very dark. Okay, there's no future here. All right, let's read that again. It says there will be great political turmoil. Right, man. You're gonna have people going after the governors. All right, like I mentioned earlier, you had that one governor in Michigan was a foil plot of her assassination. You had a group of Edomites that were part of they had their own group, patriotic group, that tried to take out the governor because they were tired of the laws that she was passing on for the 2020, 2021. They were tired of it. So they try to take matters to their own hands. You have people here in California that are tired of Newsom. That's why he has to walk around with security 24/7. All right, because there's going to be a time where people are going to just take matters to their own hands. They're going to say, fuck it. They're not going to care. They're going to try to take them out, man. All right. It says, with one group trying to overpower another and gain control while ignoring the legitimate. Right. Ignoring the legitimate what? Ignoring the government. The government's trying to bring peace. The government said they're not gonna want to hear anything. Because when people have nothing to lose, they lose it. And that's what everyone's about to lose it here in America, man. They're going to see that the government's full of shit. And they're going to try to take control. Which is going to ultimately happen. What's ultimately going to be the result of this? Martial law. Draconian measures. You're found past sundown, past 6. You're going to get shot to death. No questions asked. Not even detained. Just killed on the spot. They're going to start rounding, going house to house, taking away people's guns. And we know how Esau, these patriotic Edomites, feel about their guns. All right, that's why it says, Slock, I missed this part. I said just legitimate. Let me read that again, because it says government. Slock, I missed this part. It says, there will be great political turmoil with one group trying to overpower another and gain control while ignoring the legitimate government. Right, while ignoring the legitimate government. You're going to have people that are going to try to govern themselves, govern their little state, their little city. Trying to take control of a city, trying to take control of a state. You're going to have people try to take control of the country. All right? Passing their own laws. You traveling like Civil War, you couldn't travel. You had checkpoints of that one group. Say, what type of American are you? It says verse 17, there will no longer be free access to the cities. Right, you can't travel. Yeah, martial law. You're gonna have these own militia groups setting up their own checkpoints. All right, you can't come here. You a dark skinned folk. You leftists. because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live. Right? It's gonna be chaos, man. You got people that have nothing to do with the political. They're just trying to live their lives, not knowing what's happening. Because there's gonna be so much happening all at once. Not only do you have to worry about the war, you have to worry about how you're gonna feed yourself. And we're worried about if you're gonna live to see it the next day. Driven by famine and terrible suffering, people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions. Man. And that's the times we're coming into. That's why it says in verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. But as the GNT says, the world and the people in it are doomed. Man, the world and the people that are in this world that are not of the elect are doomed. Because the elect, if we are of the elect, we're going to be in the midst of all this. But we're going to be delivered, man. We're going to be saved from this. And good movies to watch is like the movie Bushwick. You know, this part. Let me see what it says. Verse 18. It says, because the struggle for power brings destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live. Right. Like the movie Bushwick. All right. She came out of the train with her boyfriend and she didn't know what the hell was going on. The subway was empty. Right. Next thing you know, you see people on fire. Like, what's going on? The boyfriend came to step up and he gets killed. She's running around. She's seen people killing each other, shooting at each other. She's trying to figure out what's going on, what's happening. You know. Then she's about to get ravished. And, you know, that's the times we're coming into. People are going to be confused, not knowing what's going on. You know. Let me see. Well, yeah, that was it on that one. Okay. Let me end it here in 2nd Ezra 8 and 50. Because we're going to have a lot of great miseries that's going to come upon the worlds. All right, 2nd Ezra 8 and 50 says, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. All right, great miseries, many great miseries. Miseries that you people can't fathom. You people are not ready for. All right? Not only are you going to have to worry about the war abroad in World War III, you have to worry about the war that's going to be fought here, man. All right? So we're living in some crazy times. And Lord willing, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has mercy upon us and delivers us from what's coming. Because the Lord's our only way out of it. We can't save ourselves from what's coming. All right? But hey, you know, I just thought this was interesting right here. You know, you seen different Trump, members of Trump's cabinet move into military bases because of the political violence, which is only going to get worse. And not only do you have to worry about one people, you're going to have to worry about a group of people, man, coming in, trying to take over. With that, shalom.